can only go back to countries, what the country the first best
important that as we deal with the necessities and the huge scale of the changes that are needed, that we remember that we have to keep dreaming about the world that we want to create, because only by keeping our focus on that horizon will we be creating the world that is actually better than this one. And that combination of dreaming and determination to fight is what's going to carry us through.
Right, okay, I'm Chief Superintendent Mark Ricketts. I'm the Tactical Commander here at the moment, and I'm making a very polite request on behalf of the owner of the property for you to leave. I take it you review.
There's four crucial things about the camp. Firstly, we're upfront about the necessity for a social movement. Secondly, we criticise and fight against the capitalist growth economy. Thirdly, we are recognising that corporations have stolen a lot of the agenda around climate chaos, that it's still their power in the media that's driving a lot of the discourse, and that we ordinary people need to take the discussion, the debate and the answers and the solutions back. And lastly, that we're here and we're having a good time and we're featuring on the front pages because we've got the passion and the excitement that's going to make the difference in the long run. I think what's more and more necessary is that we withdraw consent and our participation from the current economic system, and there's no single answers about how that's done. That's down to every single person to look at their role in the economic system and start saying, how the fuck do I get myself out of this? And fast.
Very well planned, I must say. Maximum secrecy and minimum discovery.
It was kind of agonising wait for the call to go.
Everyone tuned into like defeating climate change, and they just suddenly realised that they all had to be in the path of the third runway proposed at a certain time, and suddenly we were here.
And they tried to keep us in the vicinity of Heathrow and stop the whole camp, and you can't use the law like that. They tried to get the largest injunction in British legal history to stop us, and we won. And so all they said is that you can't do anything illegal within the bounds of Heathrow for this month. Which it's already illegal to do anything that's illegal. That's why we have the word illegal to describe those illegal things, because they're illegal.
Climate change campaigners have spent the day planning for tomorrow's day of direct action at Heathrow Airport.
For now, the camp remains peaceful, but with hundreds of people arriving each day, the potential for trouble is rising.
I mean, basically this camp is set up on the site of the third runway.
Police are saying there's a hardcore criminal element to the camp.
This growth economy on the finite planet is just absurd. It's just not possible.
We are a direct action group, so We've been very clear that this is one of our aims, and it is necessary sometimes for people to step out of line to deal with great issues and great threats. This is what climate change is.
Sorry, who are you filming?
The climate camp.
Scotland Yard has said veteran campaigners have infiltrated the camp and that could lead to confrontation.
The problem for police and passengers is that campaigners aren't saying exactly what they'll do or when.
This was extremely well planned and they cut their way in using bolt cutters, and once that segment of the fence was lifted out they just streamed in.
Dozens of climate protesters are on the run following last night's direct action at Heathrow Airport. 114 were arrested at the scene and charged with criminal damage after they dug up the runways to plant trees.
Flights from Heathrow Airport have been cancelled. According to authorities, 114 arrests have been made, but scores of activists remain on the run.
La transition, c'est-à-dire que le problème c'est que on connaît le point A. Et normalement, la transition, il y a le deuxième point aussi, le point B. Et on ne le connaît pas, le point B en fait.
The markets have plummeted still further on the news after a day which had already brought stock markets around the world close to paralysis. The crisis that started in the United States has swept through Europe, felling banks in France, Germany, Holland, and here Ajde, koliko žara, toliko pravde. U ovoj zemlji nema aviona da se vrati. Koliko vanica, toliko radnika.
In my world, they say self-management doesn't work. It's inefficient. Workers can't run a company. What would you say to people who say that?
Ja znam menadžer godine. Ja, kod nas se pokazalo da mi možda upravljamo. Znači, sasvim ono suprotno. I bolje upravljamo nego i onaj menadžer što je bio i što je drugi kupio. Znači, kod nas je to sasvim, to ste, ja možda ste i videli u firmu, ali znači, bio si u fabriku, treba da snimaš.
Poznavajući tadašnju situaciju u društvu, ljudi kada su krenuli u štrajk, meni je to lično delovalo kao utopija. Bila je bezizlazna situacija da se, tako reći, borba Davida protiv Golijata. Kada je sad taj jad i čemer prošao, ušli su u fabriku, mislili su da neće znati šta će da rade sa fabrikom, kako će pokrenuti, pogotovo što je to specifična proizvodnja farmaceutska. Oni su i tada, pored štrajka, sve te probleme rešili i pokrenuli proizvodnju.
Da li među vama ima štrajkača glađa?
Svi.
Pa sada ne liče na štrajkače.
Ne ove. Nisam ni ja. Ja, ali nisam ja. 3 dana.
Evo ja sam bio.
Šta je drugačije? Drugačije je osjećaj neke slobode, nekog novog entuzijazma, poleta. Ja sam 34 godine u Jugoremediji, nikad nisam imao takav osjećaj da mogu i slobodno i da kažem svoje probleme i da sa mnogo većom voljom pristupim rešavanju nekih problema. I mnogo sam slobodniji da zahtevam za svoj delokrug posla.
Jugoremedija je začetnik protesta radnika. Znači, nama je mnogo lakše ovog trenutka zato što imamo njih. Oni nisu imali nikoga.
Ovo je sve u prevodu čista pljačka koju je omogućila država i sistem. To je to. Znači, radnici ostaju bukvalno na ulici, bez ikakvih prava i bez obeštećenja, bez ičega. Znači, 500 porodica je uništeno. U jednom potezu 500 porodica na ulici. To je to. To je delo te privatizacije. Sad smo ušli u fabriku i nećemo više da izađemo dok ne dobijemo odgovor od državnih institucija šta će se dogoditi sa nama, bukvalno. Tako se borimo. Borimo se za svoje prava i za svoj deo fabrike. Ne izlaskom iz fabrike.
Kako se osjećate to što ste okupirali fabriku?
Nismo okupirali. Nismo okupirali, smo samo ušli zato što je ona i naša, nije samo njihova. 49% je naša fabrika. Nismo mi nju... Ne naše, 2000 akcionari u fabrici. I osjećamo se bolje, pošto ćemo verovatno ovim putem nešto ispuniti.
Samo da vam kažem da ovo radilo 120 godina. Da su bili Turci, Austrija, Kraljevina, komunizam. I nikad nije uništeno. Kada je došao ovaj tranzicija, opljačkana.
Znači ima sve, znači dosta sam ponosni sveta što se tiče ovoga. Što smo se vratili nazad i drago mi je što i druge fabrike gledaju u nas da se vrate isto onako u onome sistemu koji smo mi bili. Da žive, da se vrate fabrike svim tim ljudima nazad, što se ugledaju u nas. I oni počinju, vidim da narod je počeo već da radi mozak, da razmišljaju glavom svojom dokle da stigne. Ušao u fabriku i prvi put kad sam stao posle 3,5 godine na svoje radno mesto. Znači, ne znam, nisam mogu da verujem da sam tu. Nisam mogu da verujem da sam tu, da to nisam radio rekao. Da vam kažem jednu stvar, mnogo se sretan. Ima sve. Ali mislim da je dovoljno, neće biti.
Iscrpljujuće.
Od prethodnih dana u protestu ispred kapi isto niko nije reagovao od nadležnih i kolege su donele odluku da zbog nereagovanja države, jednostavno mi za njih nismo postojali i rešili smo da prerežemo kleštima katanac i uđemo unutra. I tu smo i danas. 4. mesec.
What's the chances of you winning?
50-50%. Pola-pola, na ta smo.
Ostali smo bez ikakvih prava. Mnoge kolege po izlasku iz suda, veoma kivni i žučni, su želeli da dođu i da upale firmu.
She explained.
Yeah, because of the decision of the court, many of the people that were on the court wanted to come here and burn the factory.
Today?
Today, after the court, yeah.
Fuck. Wow.
And what did they do? Did she have to talk to them so that they would not do it?
Kako je vaš stav pogled ovo što su oni prvi Beograd?
Ja sam zamolila da sačekaju Beograd, ako ne, kaže, palit će se sami, za njih je život gotov.
Momče, vidimo se ili u proizvodnji ili na kapi sa kantama benzina.
Ja bih u proizvodnji.
I ja.
Ja bih volila.
Svi.
Država je korumpirana i gotova. Mi smo ovako mali.
Ali veliko srce.
Veliko srce. Ne damo se. Ovako se čvrsto držimo. To nas održava.
And yet, about this time every year, I start thinking about the winds and start thinking about lashing everything down good and tight. And I've kind of got a bit more used to it now.
Wow, I'm impressed. One go.
Of course.
That's
I've done this
amazing.
before, you know. For a while, the winds used to really stress me out. And all winter there'd be a bit of this going on because my whole home moves around quite a lot. But now I know that it's not going to go anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere for years. I lash it down tight. I've shifted my perspective to the wind. Now I appreciate it, the change that it brings and the power that it generates on my wind generator. And I've shifted my attention around it so it doesn't stress me out so much. I embrace the wind. You know, we get a lot of water all in one go, and then it's really dry for ages and ages and ages, and it doesn't rain for weeks. So we've had to sort of adapt to those conditions, really. We've got lots and lots of water storage, so that when it does rain, we harvest that water and save it. We have had a period of intense and chaotic weather and destructive weather. You know, there was lots of people who feared that this change, this disaster would lead to the worst in humanity coming out, but actually it brought out the best. People soon realised that to survive they would need to cooperate. You needed to be part of the network of beneficial relationships. People created spaces where things flowed more easily, where things happened more fruitfully. So there was a transition to things coming out of a place of being rather than doing, just being an end in itself. The turning of the seasons is honoured again. The harvest is honoured. There's real gratitude around. People are really grateful. They're grateful for their food. They're grateful for their shelter. They're grateful for the fertility of their soil. They're grateful for their soil, you know, because so much of it was nearly snatched away from them. Overwhelming sense of gratitude from people for clean water, for firewood.
She's pretty damn inspiring, isn't she? Everything she does is beautiful.
Come on, we have to share with the bird. Where do you live?
Me? Well, I don't really live anywhere at the moment. I live in a van.
Why don't you live anywhere?
Because we're doing a big journey. Isa and me. We're doing a big journey.
Where do you live though?
In the van. And then we go from one place to another in the van.
And then live there?
Yeah, for a bit. And then we move on and live somewhere else for a bit.
Where do you really live?
Where do I really live? Well, in the van, really. That's where we live at the moment.
You'll stay here for a bit, aren't you? Don't you remember me?
Of course I will. Isa, do you know how to get to...
Yeah, because I'm the daughter.
You sure?
In violet Spain.
You can't find
it. Lost. Violet of them had
Well, I don't know, I'm going to find it today.
My place is your mum's.
No, not really.
Still got to check themselves being there when they
Or in pretty much evacuated village. Or an evacuated village. I was bringing my dog food out.
All of it.
Then we got to
We just always had too much. We just had too much stuff, too much tap. Could do with half the amount that we had. But we're also attached. We really are. Human beings, we get attached to so much. I haven't worn heels for like 20 years.
Is this really the first time you've worn heels?
Yeah, really.
What happened when a major structural crisis of capitalism happened is when accumulation and regulation are not in balance. We were remembering in the late double O's, levels of global inequality had reached levels unseen since the booming 20s and the booming 90s. That is, before the onset of the Great Depression. Matter of a decade, a regime that had been the norm for 30 years suddenly collapsed. Most coastal cities were abandoned, and many mega cities in the north and south of the planet became Darwinian monstrosities. Out of this barbarism, the transfederation of utopian urban spaces, of utopian cities, has been emerging in several regions of the continent.
Lo abandonado, ¿no? La magia de un lugar abandonado que para un niño es un lugar de juego increíble, ¿no? Yo sí he conocido. Bueno, en un principio, cuando ocupasteis, no conocíamos a la gente, ¿no? Poco a poco y ya muy, pues casi enseguidita, la gente que ocupó la casa empezó a conectar con el barrio, ¿no? Entonces se daban a conocer, presentaban ya un poco el proyecto de futuro para Camasdeo y me acuerdo que enseguida fueron muy bien recibidos, ¿no? Todo el movimiento social del barrio, porque ellos se abrieron enseguida, empezaron a conectar, podéis subir, nos invitaban a subir, a conocer el proyecto. Yo es que me lo quiero mucho, ¿no? Camasdeo. Para mí me llega al alma, ¿no? La convivencia, el compartir, trabajar la tierra, el aprender. Somos un montón de mujeres de la ciudad que yo no había nunca tocado la tierra, ¿no? Entonces que se me dé esta posibilidad es para mí un gran regalo, ¿no?
De casa.
Indian time doesn't exist, so.
Una anécdota, yo creo que...
Hombre,
¿qué es esto, no?
Esta
Es una foto de
no.
familia.
Mírala.
It's everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, they were saying that for them the best moments is when we get together and make party together and we eat and have fun, no?
You can see all these are empty houses or empty villages, and we share this information so people maybe go there and see if they like the place, if there's water, and we try to put all the information here.
Como que tú ya, que ya eras favorable, ¿no? A la idea de que si una tierra está abandonada, pues tú la puedes coger y la puedes poner a cultivar.
Me iría de aquí y cogería otra.
Claro. O sea, y que te identificas con lo que hicimos aquí nosotros, no con lo que se ha hecho aquí.
Exactamente, exactamente.
¿Tú te consideras un ocupa también?
Yo sí. Arreglar la tierra, para coger algo, para comer y para que esté más bonito. Ya se puede poner quien se ponga. Me salgo de aquí y me voy a la Plaza de Cataluña y hago un huerto.
El viernes hacemos pan. El viernes. A ver si vienes, pásate.
At the beginning, it seemed we would be totally destroyed by the dynamics of the degradation of the city. No? But in 3-4 years, we could resist, and after now it's completely different. No? In the neighborhood now, the ties and the links are totally different. No? It's more like being part of a clan, a tribe. No, it's not. In every region, you have different currencies, and they are controlled by the community. In some cases, there are some mafia structures, and in other cases, it's much more democratic and I don't know. be regionalistic or anarchist or whatever they wanted to call it. Now we don't call ourselves in this kind of category.
Yes.
And of course the new economy was inspired by the practices we were having before. No? Before it was a kind of a laser stuff, no? It was something you can choose or not, more like a lifestyle, no? Like an option. And now it's the only way. Then you have more time as well for a more quiet life, no? It's not that bad. And hard work all the time, physical work. We do bread for many of the villagers around. We change it, and sometimes as well we just give to people, or other people give us. It's more relaxed, no? So it's not that clear, no?
So it's totally informal.
Not totally. It depends on the relationship of confidence, no? Of course, the less you know this person or this group or this family, the more formal you are, no? But when big structure disappear, the people working on this trust relationship got like a new position in society. No, it was not a minority. It becomes like something that you can trust on, and many people try to get involved with these networks because it was the best way to survive.
Wow. That's so nice.
They do everything themselves.
I used to think that it would be nice to live in a world where there's no keys and that keys are kind of kind of outside of my vision of utopia. And now I've changed it to realize that free access to the keys is important, not actually not having keys on the door. So anyone who wants to come and see this mine can get this key. A water mine is just a horizontal well. We wouldn't have any gardens without water, and when we first came to live in this valley, we basically had no water at all. We had one small spring which was coming out of the hillside, which then dried up. We didn't really have any way to catch a rainfall, and we were just carrying water up the hillside from a city spring. And then talking to some of the old people in the valley, they told us about the water mines, and we found one in the other valley, which doesn't give us much water, and then later on we found this one.
Là où on a besoin de perspectives, c'est sans doute pour développer un langage commun, pour se donner une certaine contenance, parce qu'on a besoin d'imaginer des horizons. Mais ces horizons, ça peut être des mythes aussi.
una historia magnífica porque tiene que ver con esta realidad realmente magnífica que es Marinaleda, ¿no? Que es una realidad de auténtico poder popular, de que la gente en este pueblo ya lo sabrán, ¿no? Eran jornaleros asalariados de terratenientes y en un determinado momento se plantearon que tenían que conseguir la tierra porque no podían seguir en la miseria y el hambre en el que estaban, y entonces lucharon por la tierra, la consiguieron, y también a partir de ahí decidieron tener más poder, por eso se presentaron a las elecciones y consiguieron el ayuntamiento.
In our time, mayors didn't do this kind of thing.
La izquierda tiene que situarse a la izquierda de lo posible y que por tanto tiene que aspirar a la utopía, no entendida como una quimera, sino como el derecho que tienen las personas y los pueblos a soñar y mediante lucha ver convertidos sus sueños en realidad. Y un momento feliz es cuando después de 10 años luchando conseguimos la tierra y nos dieron la llave del cortijo del humoso. Nosotros pensamos que la tierra no es de nadie, no es una mercancía, es un derecho. Ocupamos la finca cientos de veces, cortamos las carreteras, huelgas generales, huelgas de hambre, nos tiramos en las máquinas cosechadoras delante de las máquinas para que no pudiera cosechar el duque. Después de muchos años de lucha, conseguimos la tierra. 1.200 hectáreas de tierra, que hoy actualmente 8 cooperativas en el cortijo del humoso. Y pensamos que el poder no puede ser neutro, sino que el poder en manos del obrero tiene que ser un contrapoder. Y para que ese poder del pueblo, con el pueblo y para el pueblo, tuviera fuerza, nos parecía que era imprescindible la participación. Y por eso convertimos la Asamblea General de Vecinos en el máximo órgano de decisión de todos nuestros asuntos. Nos dimos cuenta que la democracia directa es mejor que la democracia representativa, porque la gente no participa en política una vez cada 4 años que hay elecciones, sino participa en su vida, en los asuntos de su vida todos los días.
Uno, dentro.
Bueno, la verdad que es muy diferente como se hacen ahora al tiempo del que tú vienes, porque en concreto nosotros en esta televisión, como nuestro objetivo es contar la realidad, pero la de verdad, lo que realmente le sucede a la gente y sus problemas cotidianos o los problemas generales que pueda haber, no nos seguimos ningún tipo de criterio que tenga que ver con, por ejemplo, cuestiones comerciales, económicas. Entonces es muy diferente a cuando la información se contaba desde el poder establecido que no implicaba igualdad para todos. La televisión sale de la asamblea de los vecinos, de la gente del pueblo de Marinaleda.
¿Ah?
Tiene que salir fuera.
¿Ya?
Ya están dentro.
Amparo, escúchame una cosita. Antes de empezar, saludarlo, decirle, hola, buenas tardes. Soy Amparo. Sí. Si te lo digo yo, dilo con tus palabras, pero estoy encantada de estar este ratito contigo en la televisión de Marinaleda. Tú lo miras a Iván, que además es muy guapo, topa a ti. Yo que te veo tan guapa, además. Bueno, siempre viene guapa, pero hoy, qué peinado, qué pendiente, Dios mío. Y no sabías que teníamos invitados.
Yo hoy me siento más utópico que ayer y más necesariamente revolucionario que ayer, porque he visto en mi vivencia práctica de que sí es posible conseguir las cosas que ellos nos dicen que es imposible.
si on s'engage dans des combats militants tout en ayant un pied dans une construction perpétuelle d'un autre mode de vie, c'est important. Et si on s'engage dans un autre mode de vie de type utopiste et qu'on reste replié sur soi, c'est dangereux parce que ça risque de toute façon asphyxier finalement le projet lui-même. Et puis ça risque de développer un esprit de forteresse où on ne comprenne plus les autres, où on soit complètement en décalage. Donc il y a vraiment une idée très intéressante d'être en interaction, d'être les deux, de faire une double démarche à la fois utopiste et engagée politiquement.
La vieille Valette, c'est un vieux village des Cévennes. La situation est devenue impossible en ville. Les gens passaient leur temps, ne pensaient plus qu'à une seule chose, c'est chercher à manger, se battre entre eux. Donc voilà, des fortifications encore. Voilà, vraiment à l'ancienne, quoi. On s'est vraiment inspiré des techniques du Moyen-Âge. À l'époque, il y avait une grosse porte en fer. Et là, on entre dans le village. Voilà. Des inscriptions de l'époque de...
Alors c'était squatté alors?
Ah oui, c'était squatté. À l'heure actuelle, ça l'est encore. Donc là, on a une deuxième enceinte pour résister.
Et c'est un village vraiment unique ici, ou il y a d'autres villages dans les vallées avoisinantes qui sont réfugiés comme ça pour...
Récemment, il y en avait un en Lozère qui s'est fait raser par les forces républicaines.
Et pourquoi?
Françaises.
Pour pouvoir...
Pour occupation illégale. Pour les chasser, ils ont envoyé les bulldozers, ils ont rasé le village.
C'est quoi cette machine étrange?
C'est une allégorie du temps.
Génial. Ah, c'est ça la source dont tu me parlais alors.
Oui, voilà. Alors là, c'est là où on enfermait tous les fonctionnaires de l'État et les flics qui venaient. Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est pas à grand confort, mais on les laissait pas très longtemps. Hein. Quand on les donnait à bouffer aux cochons. Quand il y a la liberté totale, du coup c'est pas n'importe quoi, parce que c'est une vraie responsabilité, quoi. C'est pour ça que je disais, il y a des gens ça fait peur, et quand ils arrivent ici, ça leur fait peur, cette liberté totale. C'est impressionnant, quoi. On n'est pas habitué à gérer ça, quoi. On est habitué à ce qu'il y ait déjà des règles, et ce qu'il y ait déjà des... Là, en fait, on a toutes les cartes en main, c'est à nous de faire quelque chose. Bon, bah,